There you are. No time to waste. Let me usher you straight away into the TARDIS. My name is Colin Baker. It's been my great honour to be amongst those who've been and still are playing the Doctor. I've played Old 60 on television, stage, and in audio adventures, which in this case are licensed by the BBC and made by Big Finish Productions. And that brings us to this podcast, because this is all about those Big Finish full-cast Doctor Who audio adventures. This week, we feature part 3 of The Scream of Ghosts by Guy Adams. Now, if you missed parts 1 and 2 and want to give them a listen to first, be my guest. But if you're the type that doesn't mind jumping straight in, let me quickly bring you up to speed. Interference and strange ghostly voices have drawn the Doctor to Belbury, the village where development of a mobile telephone system by Professor Caldecott has brought UNIT, in the form of the Brigadier and Joe Grant, to carry out an inspection. With strange things happening to people's televisions and radios, the Doctor has met up with a CB radio friend of Sergeant Benton, who has also experienced the strange ghostly voices that cause so much trouble. Meanwhile, Professor Caldecott's assistant, Armitage, while stopping at the village pub for lunch, has run into a frustrated villager, Bob Ellis, who demands that something be done about his faulty TV. Hoping to help, Armitage goes with Ellis to see if he can fix the broken set. But Ellis is raving about the voices he's heard coming from the receiver. Ellis is explaining all of this to Armitage when the voices strike and also devour both men where they stand. Whew. The Brigadier, conducting his own investigation of Belbury, is finding that the place is devoid of physical life. The Doctor and Joe, meanwhile, have gone to Professor Caldecott's lab, the Doctor wanting a demonstration of the new mobile phone. With a spare handset, they head off to conduct a mobile call, only for the interference and voices that have been plaguing the village to start again. And this time, their victim is the Doctor. Joe is alone. And for a second time, it seems that the only sound the Doctor would like to hear is silence. And now, after all that excitement, here's a look behind the scenes as we continue to look at the expanding UNIT family and the one and only Jo Grant, or Katie Manning, as she's better known.
Do you know, it is such an extraordinary experience for me. And I knew if anybody could bring the heart to, my whole thing is, okay, people say, oh, my friend does a wonderful impersonation of this, John, a wonderful impersonation of the Brit, wonderful, What is the most important thing? And that's the heart that you actually bring, so that that character is living and breathing. And because of John's passion and understanding and knowledge of the show and all the characters, and of course he absolutely adored the Brig, as did we all. And he has, I'm just looking at him, even his mouth, I could just go sit on his knee like we used to, because he's so right. And then so I've got Tim, and then of course John Levine, and it's really extraordinary. I'm being transported back to this time in 1970, which was the most joyous, strong family. And what's amazing is that we've already got that quirky, eccentric sort of relationship just in a day. Obviously I've been working with Tim longer, but I haven't worked with John in a while, and I certainly haven't worked with the Brig. All of us just seem to have this wonderful, wacky connection, which was one of the most important things that belonged to our era, and why we all had this incredible friendship and relationship on and off screen. And it's pure magic that these people have brought to it, and I'm overjoyed, and every now and again I get a little rush of total excitement and hair stand up on the back of my neck, and if there's anything not quite right, I feel quite useful because I can help them out and say it was this, or if you do that move you'll get that attitude. But they are just brilliant. And I obviously have to try and I'm not doing it, but I'm trying to capture the weight of Joe's voice back in that time. And every now and again I suddenly sort of hear my Muppet-esque voice, because we had this joke running gag. It's like, Joe's just turned into the lorry driver again, because, I've always had quite a deep voice. So I had to lift it then. I'm having to lift it even higher now. So I'm basically working on point at the moment, because it makes your body go up in the air. And every now and then, again, I catch myself, because when you're in the moment, you're right there. You're not thinking of anything else. I'm back. I'm being that person. But then when you catch yourself, you just think, what are you doing, woman? But, it's a pleasure. And I can't thank you enough for giving me this extraordinary treat.
And so, can the Doctor free himself and the villagers of Belbury from their sonic existence? Will Jo be able to complete the device she's working on for the Doctor in the real world? And most of all, will the Doctor survive the Brigadier's attempts to stop the Vardens? Find out next time when I invite you back into the TARDIS. For the continuing audio adventures of Old Sixie, along with other classic and new series Who, podcasts, and much more, be sure to visit www.bigfinish.com. You've been listening to Into the TARDIS, hosted by me, Colin Baker, and produced by Ian Meadows. Supervising producer was Lizzie Worsdell, and executive producers are Nicholas Briggs and Jason Hay-Gallery.